All right, another video, American in the Philippines. I'm David, Joy, and Anak, or kiddo, Gabby. All happy here in our home. Hopefully you've been enjoying our videos. Obviously, I'll do a little bit of housekeeping first. We really want to say thanks to the subscribers. We're at, 1,280?
Yeah.
1,280 subscribers as of this morning, and that is incredible. Obviously, some great people. 98% of our comments are always either very complimentary to us or trying to share information so that everybody learns and gets something from the channel, which is great. I've only had one person that I had to hide the comments. And that was, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you or not, but so the one person that comes out and actually just calls us a liar. So if you're gonna comment and say that I'm wrong, that I don't know what happened to me in my own experience in my life, then you won't be visible on the channel. That's where I draw the line. I got a thick skin, and if you wanna say something, that's fine, but that's where I draw the line. So that one, guys, you can't see his comments anymore. Anyway, so I think that's all the housekeeping stuff. Oh, one more item. I've been trying to get Joy to do the videos with me, and I think I've got her convinced for an idea that's coming up. We're gonna do, is it expected to help family, or the OFWs, that kind of thing. It's kind of a hot button type item over here. The way that families are raised, blah, 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 helping family, helping parents. Well, we'll get into it in the video, but obviously I need Joy with me in that video. She's very shy and she does not like being on camera. She's been writing a script and trying to memorize it for days now. But we're doing this video today. This one's why I came to the Philippines. So we're gonna discuss that today. And the next video after this will probably be registering the car, getting the insurance, emissions, all the stuff done. Because we just found out recently that our 3 years isn't really 3 years free registration when you buy a new car. Because the third year goes by your numbers on your license plate. And our numbers on our license plate have to be coded for January. And it is January. So we gotta boogie over to LTO and get our registration done. And so we're going to take you through all that process. That'll be the next video, obviously, because it'll be fresh in our head. So look forward to that information. So why the Philippines for me specifically? Well, let's start out by talking about life in America for me. I retired out of the military. I was a single dad, and I was enjoying being a single dad and finding my schedule in my life. Honestly, being a single dad gives you lots of schedule already. So you got to get dinner ready, you got to get the kids out the door. Even when my daughter was in college, I had to bug her about getting up and getting class on time, making sure that I had food ready for her for breakfast before she left, making sure dinner was ready. I still had that routine and schedule, but when kiddo was out of the house and I'm empty nesting it, it took a couple of years, but it was really hard to figure out what I was supposed to be doing. I'd go to the gym on base and I'd do my morning walks. This was in Arizona. But I was having a hard time figuring out what I wanted to do. So I used to like playing golf. I used to like doing other things, but I was having a hard time figuring that out in retirement. You have all the time in the world, and then you have to figure out your hobbies and what you want to do. So somewhere between surviving and living, that was my life in America. I've heard other people talking about it, surviving and living, based on can you survive or live on 500 in the Philippines, blah, 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 whole thing. But surviving, I take it as you're not really excelling in your life, you're not content, very happy, etc. But living, I think, is where everybody wants to be, where you found your true happiness, you're enjoying your life. So I was somewhere in between. I was still trying to figure out what I was going to do when I was in America before I came over here. Income. So my income from the military, my retirement, doesn't leave me a lot of extra wiggle room when I'm in the States. So like I said, I was in Arizona. My rent for a little 1-bedroom apartment was $1,000. And I had a car, which I've always had a car and always had a car payment in America. And it wasn't very expensive, I don't think, but at the end of the day, I was trying to eat healthy food. I was going to Whole Foods. I was buying expensive, healthy food, trying to be good for me because I was getting older. All of that takes money. And in America, everything just keeps going up and up and up and up. And my paychecks didn't go up and up and up and up. So it kept getting tighter and tighter on the squeeze. So I started having the idea of where could I live that I could stretch my dollars farther, that the weather would be good, because that's another thing in Kansas, and another reason I went back down to Arizona was the weather. Kansas winters, whoo! You guys, if you're in Kansas right now and you're getting the snow and the wind, oh my goodness, that wind would go right to your bones. It didn't matter how many jackets I had on. If it was like snowy and you get 30-knot winds, oh, it hurt. I hated the winters, and I still do. I'm not a winter type person, so Philippines is perfect for me. Tucson wasn't bad, but Tucson still gets winters, and I was kind of up in my apartment in Tucson. The original apartment I got was up against a mountain, and I actually saw snow, so still gets cold there. So, and I was looking for a place with good medical, something that I could, I'm going to be getting older. I need to keep getting my annual checkups. I need to, if something does happen or something of concern, I need to be able to see a good medical that I can rely on. So that was my kind of my checklist of areas that I wanted to go. And sorry, I keep looking at my notes. One of the things I wanted to mention when I talk about the idea of actually going was I believe it's easier for military people. So I can remember being 19 years old and the government telling me, you're going to move to Washington State. I didn't know anybody in Washington State. I'd never been to Washington State, but that's where I got sent. After moving every 2 to 3 years and the government not giving you really much of a choice, just saying you're going to go here, you're going to go there, and even overseas, Azores Islands of Portugal, Germany, you're going to go here, you're going to spend 3 years in Saudi Arabia for war, you're going to go over to Kosovo for a war. All of that stuff, you start getting used to not having that fear and anxiety of the move. So I know that's one thing that holds some people back. So you can think and plan and say, yep, Philippines looks perfect, or Mexico, or Costa Rica, or Ecuador. All of these places look perfect. I'm really wanting to go, and then have that fear and anxiety about, I don't know anybody. I think the military kind of helped me with that. So I was used to moving on a regular basis. So one of the other things I want to mention on the idea, it was never a priority to find love. I had been divorced since 2004. So we're talking 15 plus years, 20 years now. And I didn't even really think about it, to be honest. I was really planning for where could I go that I could live a good life in my retirement. America was making it harder and harder. And don't get me wrong, I love my country. I love America. And America is the reason that I served my country in the military. America is the reason I have a good life here. I get American dollars that are, the exchange rate is huge. So even on inflation, when the exchange rate goes up, I'm still making out. So I love my country, and I always will. And I have a lot of family back in the country. I'll be going back for visits. I'm going to try this August. It's been a while, 3 years. So I'm hoping to go back. But that was never a priority, a relationship. So my first trial run, originally I tried out Mexico. The idea was that it was close. So I could go over to Mexico if I didn't like something, or I got my 180-day visa, and at the end all I got to do is fly back to California, and then I could reset it and go back over again. So I thought it was going to be easy, and a nice easy place to try out, and good cost of living. So My lesson learned from Mexico. I lived in Playa del Carmen, and I lived there for 2 months, and then I lived in Puerto Morales for 1 month. That was my trial run. So what did I learn from Mexico in this trial run? Well, I learned the big thing was communication. Me in high school, instead of taking Spanish like an idiot, I took German. Actually, I have German heritage in my background from on my mother's side. So I thought it was kind of neat that my grandpa was German and that I would take German in high school. So I took 4 years of German. Never used the language once, well, maybe once on a TDY to Germany or something, but never really used the language, and now I barely remember most of the words. I was pretty fluent in high school, but I should have taken Spanish if I was smart. So Playa del Carmen, Puerto Morales, these are tourist areas, and for the most part, everywhere I went, they spoke enough English. The problem was when I was trying to get actually settled down and saying, okay, now get out of vacation mode and get into living mode, start settling down somewhere. When I looked at doing apartments and stuff like that and getting internet hooked up and phone hooked up, first, all the businesses, none of them spoke English. So I call internet, not one word of English, not even hello. It was all in Spanish right off the bat. So either I find a translator to help me hook up internet and help me hook up phone, and even talking to landlords. Once you started getting into the actual living there and not vacation mode, the communication became an issue. So I came back to America and tried to figure out what next. That's when I picked my spot in the Philippines. Made my decision to try out the Philippines, and at the time when I was originally made the idea of I'm going to go to the Philippines, I originally thought I'll try other Southeast Asia countries too, because I had looked online and I saw, okay, if you go to the Philippines or you go to Malaysia, if you want to check out Thailand or you want to check out Philippines or you want to check out Cambodia, these flights around in Southeast Asia are cheap. You're talking $100 round trips, which is not bad, especially when you're coming from America. So that was my original idea. I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna find my place. So, as I've already told you in the Meet Us video, I started talking online. I'm like, I'm going over there, I'm gonna start talking online. And I met Joy, and we spent 9 months online just getting to know each other. And I knew from that time that I was going to meet Joy. So when I started setting up my flights and getting rid of all my stuff and selling my house and selling my car and doing everything else, I knew my intention was to come to Joy. So I set my flights up. I let her know I was coming. She made plans to meet me in Manila and then travel with me back to Bicol. And we'd already started building a house. So as you've heard, it didn't cost us much to build. And that's a personal choice everybody makes on their own. So I'm not going to tell anybody it's a right decision or a wrong decision to start building a house before you've actually met in person. So bottom line, for me, this worked out to be the best. So Joy, funny, smart, supportive, and very caring of the people that she loves. She's the best I could have found, and I'm a very lucky person. But that's how I ended up here. So it sounds like a long story, but it really wasn't. And everybody's gonna find their own perfect spot. I'm not telling you that my spot is the perfect spot for everybody. We're all different. My advice would be go out there and try places. Like I said, I tried Mexico. It didn't work for me. And I suggest you try even the Philippines. So try big cities, try province, try different areas. That would be my suggestion. So that is the video of how I got here in a nutshell. Our next video is obviously going to be about registering a car, getting the insurance done, smog checks, vehicle checks, and we're going to film as much of that as we can and show you. And that'll be our next video out in a couple of days. And then hopefully I can talk Joy into sitting down with me for the next video after that. She's not happy about it. Okay, so once again, thank you for all the subscribers. And please do subscribe if you haven't. It's free. Like the videos if these are videos that are intriguing you. Please make comments. Let us know what you want to know about. If there's something you need to know or something you're trying to research and you can't find the information, let us know in a comment. We'll help you out. We'll either just answer it in the comment. Well, we'll probably answer in the comment either way. But if it's a good idea, we'll put it down for a suggestion. There's been a lot of suggestions that we wrote down in our notes for video ideas. So by all means, make a comment and let us know. What do you need to know? What information would help you out? And as they say, that's a wrap. Look forward to seeing you guys again. Bye. Okay, hon.